Mr. Shiv Nadar, this is amazing work that you and the HCL family is doing. I'm right here. Um, I just had a fairly simple question. We really appreciate what you're doing and what the HCL family is doing back in India with Vidya Gyan. How can we, as an extended family, participate in this process? Are there any channels? Is there any ways in which we can participate?
I need to evolve this properly. If there is something which I've done in my life which is worth it, is I'm good in building institutions and giving sense of purpose and letting it go. We do 3, 4 philanthropic initiatives, all in building leadership or education. In that, for everything, like in HCL, we have a process. We have to build a process of, if someone wants to help, in what form they can help. Because we have built an institution and it's growing very well. I can see, when something starts, I used to do this all my life. Whenever a product was launched, I used to sit and predict how long the product will live and what will be the quantity that will get sold in the lifetime of a product. It's something partly intuitive and partly competitive. Okay. Vidya Gyan has started. I've seen it the early days. It will achieve its ambition of building leadership for UP. It'll take time. It'll possibly take 20 years. But HCL also has taken 35 years to get to where it has. So the process that we will be building is how could people contribute. And the best way I can think of is teaching. We have very good plans on the way. We want to tie up exchange program with schools in the US, UK, in the English-speaking world. And it's not only student exchange programs, we also wish to create faculty exchange programs. So someone who wants to contribute could come and teach them. We will provide all what it takes to live there. And these are plans. We are just taking one bite at a time at the moment. We have bought the land for the second school, and by middle of next year, that would start taking intakes as well. This year, we'll add 400 more in the current school itself. So for us, in the critical path will come the teacher availability, the faculty availability, committed faculty availability. And that's the help which I would seek from you. I'd seek from all of you, actually.
Shiv, 2 questions. First one was, did you meet any resistance from the parents when they're sending their kids off to this unknown future from their perspective? And the second question is, if once this experiment is successful, do you see this expanding to other states in India?
The financial outlay and the plan that we have is what we want to do, and it's going to take 10 years doing that. 7 years is a school period, 3 years for construction of 4 schools. So for it to achieve full strength, it will be 10 years. But I take it other businessmen will start following what we do in different states. I did this in Uttar Pradesh because that's where HCL was born. I felt I owed it to the community to do this. I take it others also will do that. The precursor to this entire thing is the education institution which our foundation built 14 years ago. It's an engineering school. It's got 2,700 graduates and undergraduate and 500 postgraduate students. It's ranked number 1 in the state of Tamil Nadu. It's ranked in the top 10 private schools in India. And there we brought in rural students for engineering. And they were all brought under full scholarship because none of them could afford engineering education. And that's something which gave germ of this idea of how to build it up further. And this is the result. I'm sure other states will be followed with other businessmen. The government will not do a school like this. I want to add something. There is a school called Doon School. This was founded some 70, 80 years ago. This is in the hills. This is in the Himalayas. And that school, through all these years, have had only 5,000 students. But telling range of leaders. One of our prime ministers came from there. Our previous commerce minister, Kamalnath, came from the same school. And a distinguished array, if you're an Indian, you would know, a very distinguished array of prominent people, prominent leaders in the fields of education, in the fields of science, in the fields of journalism, administration. They all came from there. So creating the business of leaders is different from just education. I suppose the rest would come forward and invest in this social services sector. If there is anyone raising the hand, I can't see anything from here.
Over to your left. Can you see?
Yeah, please.
Hi, I'll stand up. By the way, I admire tremendously what you're doing. What I'd like to know is, in the longer term, I know you're just starting, but to ensure helping these children or achieve that leadership that you want, what are the plans in the longer term, ultimately, for college, for higher education, to ensure they have those systems in place, at that proper moment to then continue the journey that you're pretty much putting in place for them?